Okay, Donald Trump, as usual, can't help himself. He's now blaming several different people for the deaths of two kids while they were being held by Border Patrol. So I'm going to tell you who's actually responsible in a minute. And one of the people he blamed is Democrats. The other one is actually more outrageous. I'll get to that in a minute as well. But let me read you what he said about Democrats. He said, any deaths of children or others at the border are strictly the fault of Democrats and their pathetic immigration policies that allow people to make the long trek thinking they can enter our country illegally. They can't. If we had a wall, they wouldn't even try. So I think both the media and Democrats are not handling it properly. So let me explain. As usual, when I'm doing these YouTube lives, I want to tell you just real quick about our membership drive. It's almost over. There's only 3 days. And we're also having a host competition who could sign up the most members. And I are neck and neck all the way, and so this will decide it. So tyt.com and become a member. For $4.99, you get all of our shows over shows like a progressive Netflix. CENK. We'll put the link down below in the description box, as always, tyt.com/jank. And we're also trying to reach 42,000 members by the end of the year, and we're members away, so it's possible right now. So we hope you do that. And by the way, you could also do a free trial of tyt.com/holiday. That gets you a free trial for a week. Okay. So as you media are outraged by what Trump said, and they say, "Oh, that's unconscionable. Can you believe he made it political?" No, I don't agree. As usual for me, but anyone else in Washington, I go in the opposite. No, I don't think it's outrageous that it's political. The kids did die as a policy. So if you're not aware, there's a 7-year-old girl who came and died of what a lot of people believe is dehydration. So there's conflicting reports about that. But she was very ill and she wound up passing away. She was under Customs and Border Patrol, however you want to call it. Then an 8-year-old boy died on Christmas Eve. He and his dad had been held 7 days, which is extraordinary. Hand them off immediately to ICE or to other departments within the federal government over 72 hours. Now, kids have not under Border Patrol custody for well over a decade. They're now dying one after another. There is a reason related to politics. They're wrong. And we had a policy in this country before Donald Trump that dealt with this in a humane way. We no longer have that humane policy. Them to be humane so that they won't come here anymore. And he talks about it. He talks about it all the time. Show them that to make sure they don't come here. It's their fault. And again, he blamed the parents, which I think is far more outrageous. I'm going to get to that in a second. We know who's responsible. I don't know why they don't say it. No, why isn't half now on social media, on television going, no, it is political. Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that those kids, because of the decisions that Donald Trump made, caused those kids death. So why? Anyways, I just saying, oh, I can't believe Trump's he's so naughty for saying it. It doesn't work. By the way, most importantly, it isn't accurate. They changed policy and it's more brutal. That's why the kids are dying. The 8-year-old kid who died should never have been under Border Patrol custody in the first place. To hold these people for long enough. They should pass them on to people who actually have medical facilities, et cetera, et cetera. So clearly Trump's fault. But now it gets slightly worse. Then Trump says, he says the father of the young girl said it was not their fault, referring to Border Patrol. He hadn't given her Border Patrol, and it will all. So he just blamed the dad. The guy's a monster, and we're having a conversation. Oh, did he brother had said the wrong thing? He has no empathy for anything else. So does he care about the kids actually died? Of course not. All he wants is don't blame Joffrey. So he's like, oh, blame why the Democrats? Not at all. No reason. I don't know. They're my political opponents. So they made immigration policy what? Presumably lenient. But wait a minute. Even under that philosophy, it was lenient for decades, and the kids weren't dying. So that's definitely policy might lead to other problems, but it didn't lead to this problem. Then he has the audacity to blame the dad. On whether she died of thirst or not is now in the beginning. They said it was dying of that made me. I get them coming. It's hard to how Border Patrol goes and drains the water that humanitarian people in the desert. Our government's going there and making it so that the people thirst, and religious leaders put the water out there for humanitarian reasons. And of course, Border Patrol and a lot of other people undoing that. And then once they're in your custody, it is your responsibility to not let them die, let alone first. So, but then to say, hey, that 7-year-old, I'm going to blame the dad. The dad has the decency, this is why he might have done it, but to say, no, it's not Border Patrol's fault, right? Does Trump return the favor? Because he damn about that dad and his 7-year-old daughter. He just thinks, me. Poor me. No, it isn't poor you. It's those kids who died and their parents that are the real victims. And they were victimized by you, Donald J. Trump. That's the reality.